Hello. Today we will be learning how to find the missing angles on a triangle when we are presented with their sides using SOH CAH TOA. I previously did a video showing you how to find the missing side if you are presented with a particular angle. Now, in this example, I have a 5 that is directly opposite to my angle. So that is my opposite side. I will just write OPP. And I have a side that is beside the angle. So that is my adjacent side. Now I know that I will have to use TOA, which tells me that tan of my angle is equal to the opposite over the adjacent. Now, the opposite side to my angle is a 5, and my adjacent is a 10. So I am told that tan of this angle, which we don't know as yet, is equal to 5 over 10. So tan of my angle is equal to a half. And what I have to do at this point is I have to do tan inverse. I will just briefly explain what I mean by doing tan inverse. Now, on your calculator, you will have a function that might look something like this, tan with maybe a -1 at the top. Essentially, you are going to have to do tan inverse of both sides. Now, tan inverse and tan, that would cancel out. So my angle is equal to tan inverse of 1/2. So all you have to do is grab your calculator, put on tan inverse of a half, and you'll have your answer. So my answer is 26.57 degrees. It's important to put degrees because you also have radians. Once you're doing these problems, you want to make sure that your calculator is in degrees, and you also have to include the degree symbol to show your teacher exactly what you are presenting. In this example, I have my missing angle x. I also have a hypotenuse, so that is my longest side. Opposite to the angle is missing, so I cannot include that. However, I do have my adjacent. So I have the hypotenuse and I have the adjacent. So I have to think about the identity that has an A and an H. That is CAH has the adjacent and it has the hypotenuse. So cosine of x is equal to my adjacent, which is 6 over 10. I will now do cosine inverse of both sides. Your teacher might have just taught you to get rid of the cosine here and just do cosine inverse on the other side. But I believe that it's important for you to actually understand why you are doing something. Now, when you do cosine inverse, which is the opposite of cosine, you are doing cosine inverse on the left and on the right. Now we know that whatever we do to one side of a problem, we have to do it to the other from algebra. So if I'm going to do cosine inverse of the left, I have to do cosine inverse of the right. All right, so essentially I have the same thing that I did previously. I only included the cosine inverses. All right, now I will just go ahead and work that all out. The cosine inverse and the cosine, they cancel and leave an x. So x is equal to cosine inverse of 6 over 10. And this is just something you punch on your calculator. All right, so the answer in degrees is 53.13 degrees. So x is equal to 53.13 degrees. So for this particular example, I am presented with a triangle that has a 4 directly opposite to the angle. So this is my opposite side. Now the opposite side is whichever side is opposite to the angle. So I know that sometimes it may seem like the angle rather is always here, but that is not true. The angle can also be up top. So in this case, the 4 is my opposite side, and this 12 is my hypotenuse. Now remember that the hypotenuse is always directly opposite to the 90-degree angle. So when I have an opposite and I have a hypotenuse, that means I have to draw for SOH. Sine of my missing angle is equal to the opposite over the hypotenuse. So of course, I will have to do sine inverse on both sides. So if I do sine inverse of both sides at this time, so I have sine inverse of the left, and I will also have sine inverse of the right. So of course, these will cancel and leave my angle is equal to sine inverse of 4 over 12, and I just will punch that on my calculator. So my angle in degrees is 19.47 degrees. Thank you for watching. If you have any questions, comments, or concerns, feel free to comment them, and of course, check the description box for more information.